You do have a lot of time off between the next game. What do you want to see improve the most between now and then?
What do you think, Andrew?
Gonna go with defense.
Yeah, we got our ball screen defense was better today. It wasn't like a sieve. Like we were able to at least stop some folks today. So that was a plus. That was progress.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. I am Tommy Krysan along with Jordy Holmberg. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Happy holidays early to you. How are you?
Yeah, it's that month, right? It's Christmas month.
It is.
You like the Christmas holiday?
I do. I don't like this weather like this, but potential of snow on Friday. Giddy up.
Yeah, I don't need snow. I don't like cold.
Just for a day or two.
That
I can handle that.
Your reaction, sir, we now know it's the Citrus Bowl, and the opponent is Notre Dame. Your thoughts?
If you're not playing for a national championship, I think that's probably about as good as you can do because of the matchup and the team that you're playing against. I don't care what anybody says. Notre Dame still has that cachet about them to me. So I think this is great. I think both teams will be ready to play. It should be a fun one.
Well, and you know, we kind of heard Citrus Bowl earlier in the week, and then they made it official. We had heard Michigan State.
Oh, no.
But like you said, if you can't be in a playoff and you can't be in a Super 6 game, get an opponent because if the opponent was Northwestern or Michigan
Nobody's
State,
going. Nobody's
like,
going.
oh, when's that game? We don't know.
I don't want to watch it. Yeah.
A nation will tune in now, and that's good for LSU.
Absolutely.
Without question. So.
And Notre Dame at one point in time was in that group of four that was, competing for a national championship until they ran into that buzzsaw at Miami. So good Notre Dame. They spanked USC. Spanked them. So good USC is really good. Of late they haven't. So it'll be a good test for LSU.
Well, and Notre Dame's ranked a little higher, a couple notches above LSU, so it's a chance to go beat somebody who's ranked higher than you. As we see the selection day, and we'll get to the Final Four in a minute. I can't say Final Four, that's a basketball thing. We'll get to the four teams. You see LSU highlighted at 17, Notre Dame sitting in there at 14. Speaking of that, Jordy, did they get it right? Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama.
I don't think Ohio State deserved to be in. Wisconsin didn't play anyone, and they got beat. They didn't deserve to be in, so I think they did. When you see Clemson versus Alabama, and the wise guys have Alabama as a slight favorite, and Oklahoma, Georgia is a very close game as well. It just leads me to believe that when you get two schools from the same conference, you leave the Big Ten out of it, you leave the Pac-12 out of it, those commissioners are going to be upset. Maybe, just maybe, this gets us closer to an 8-team field. Maybe. We'll see.
Could be, and I think you can look at any of the four teams, and you can, the word spin it. We can make an argument as to how and why each of those four could win it all, and then we can blow a hole in each of the four too, saying, well, what if they, So I think for the fans, they've got a couple of good games, certainly on paper. Now it may not turn out to be that way.
The best game may be the Cotton Bowl between USC and Ohio State. Who knows?
Them other bowls, you get that old. What kind of attitude? How do you show
up?
But
I think you're going to play in Jerry's world, and those two powers that, football legacies, I think they'll be fine. So I think there's some good matchups. It's all between here. You're right. What is the attitude? How many of your players are actually going to play? Who's going to skip it and go get ready for the NFL draft? That's always to be determined.
Have you heard anything from LSU on that front?
I think the only player that might not would be Arden Key, just depending upon how his injury is. But look, Geis says he's finally healthy for the first time. He needs to play to go out with a bang and
raise the stock a little.
Absolutely. Arden Key, he doesn't even play hardly at all. Doesn't play very well except maybe a game or two. He's first team All SEC.
That was a little weird.
Yeah,
I was a little shocked when I saw that.
I think the scouts have seen enough of him. I'd love to see him. McGlinchey is the left tackle for Notre Dame on their offensive line. He's supposed to be a first-round draft pick. It would be nice to see Key go against him, and if he does well. So I don't know.
You and I have both covered sports for a pretty good while now. Have you ever seen anything as bizarre as this Tennessee football coaching search that has been put out through social media? We know every minute of it.
When you said coaching search, I would say no. But everything else, I saw it at LSU a year or two ago. So No. Now, they're the only school left. Mississippi State's got their guy. Arkansas's got their guy. Tennessee's still waiting. I would imagine by the time, you see this show again, that Philip Fulmer will have his guy. But when you think of the guy, Mel Tucker, the defensive coordinator at Georgia, Jeremy Pruitt, the defensive coordinator at Alabama, and Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator at Auburn. That's best you can do?
That's not a splash hire, as
That's
they
the best
say.
you can do?
Well, they went through a list, ended up getting rid of the AD. I mean,
Bring Peyton Manning in there. Let him run it.
they could do worse. They may do worse.
They may
I
do
don't
worse.
know.
I don't know what the deal
and
is.
Look, there's a couple of kids from Texas said they're not going to play in the bowl game. A kid from Florida State has come out and said, not, of course, Florida State's up in Shreveport at the Independence Bowl against Southern Miss. But be curious to see if that's a storyline at LSU.
The thing I'm really curious to see is with the word from the NCAA and Ole Miss and how they have said, okay, there's no restrictions on players now. They can go wherever. They can go to an SEC school and not have to be penalized for that. Hugh Freeze has a no-show clause. So he can go and coach. If he becomes a head coach, he has to sit out 2 games. Well, he's not going to be a head coach. But if he goes as a coordinator, no show clause.
Really?
He can go anywhere he wants. So I'm wondering if schools, Alabama's notorious for getting these high-profile coaches and putting them on the staff in a consulting role. I'm just curious if that happens. And if it happens, what about his quarterback, Shea Patterson, who's already been rumored to be going to visit Michigan this weekend? He's a Louisiana boy. Got family in Shreveport. I'm just saying.
It could certainly get interesting. And, of course, the original airing of this show each and every week is on a Wednesday. If you're catching us Thursday, Friday, Saturday on YouTube.
Tennessee will have a coach.
Yeah, but my point, 2 weeks from today, as we're taping the show, the early signing period starts. Now, we've seen it speed up the coaching carousel for everybody except Tennessee. Going to be interesting there, too.
This is when Ed Orgeron proves his worth. He is a recruiter. He has got to go get these guys, and he's got to get a really, really good class, and that can help them along the progression with the, quote, the process. So this is when he has to shine, more so than anybody else. He's put his stamp, I am a recruiter, I'm going to go get the best in the state, and we'll see if he does.
Time will tell. Going to be interesting. First year of it, we really don't know what to expect. There'll be some good, there'll be some bad. And
You got the Saban look tonight, man. You got the mock turtleneck.
Started doing that after I did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, you got that? Well, you guys at De La Salle did this back in the day.
No, he just didn't wear socks.
You still don't.
Still don't.
All right, we're going to take a break. Also coming up on tonight's program, Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com give you the very latest on recruiting. Speaking of that early signing period that's coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll do that and much, much more. So spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans.
We got through the first segment without any Matt Canada mention.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. Stay with us.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve Steaks, their pork, their chicken, Their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Jordy Holberg, you made a mention as we were scooting to the break.
I just want to know if you had any scoop.
Canada. I have no scoop. I think it's odd that we've heard nothing after Coach Orgeron walked that elephant into the room after the post-game presser after the A&M contest, and been very, very little since.
I know there's like 7 openings out there, Tennessee being one. He's not getting that. There's South Alabama. A lot of people have mentioned UL Lafayette. I just can't see that. I don't think he has the resume for something like that. Kent State's open. South Alabama's open. Oregon's open.
Yeah, that's right. Willie Taggart.
Willie Taggart. He is coached. He is recruited for 3 different schools in 1 calendar year. USF, then he took the job at Oregon, and now he's at Florida State. He's had to recruit for 3 schools in 1 360-day year.
That'll test your recruiting abilities, huh?
Come play for me. This is great. Oh, sorry. I'm going somewhere else.
What do you think about Jimbo Fisher going to A&M? I think that makes the SEC better. It makes the SEC West better.
I agree. I mean, he's won a national championship. He's going to have to get better defensive play. That's been the whole problem with A&M for all these years. LSU's owned them, but what he does is he got Christian Ponder into the NFL. He gets Jameis Winston. He gets quarterbacks into the NFL. Quarterbacks are what you need to be successful. So, yeah, there's no question. And it's $75 million.
And he took a few shots at Florida State in the A&M presser, too. He fired a few salvos that
I didn't hear that, but I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Oh, he said it was a no-brainer, and it'd be great to be at a place where the administration has the same vision as the coach. Just a few subtle comments.
Well, he learned from the master. He learned from Saban, and when Saban wants something, you get it done, and you get it done expeditiously. Apparently, Florida State kind of dragging their feet a little bit. Well, now he gets to go to a place that spent $500 million to improve their stadium. They've got a war chest. They got an endowment of over $10 billion. LSU's endowment, not close. Not even close. Not even remotely close. So, I mean, they can dominate along those lines. But it'll be interesting to see what he does. Yeah.
I know I shared a tweet with you that someone shared with me. In 2004, LSU had employed at the university Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Jimbo Fisher,
Will
Muschamp.
Administration-wise,
Dan
Mark
Radakovich,
who's now the head of the NCAA. Scott Woodward was his right-hand man. Now he's the athletic director at Texas A&M. Dan Radakovich was Skip Bertman's right-hand man. Now Dan is the athletic director at a pretty good school called Clemson.
Yeah, and of course, as you
And
mentioned,
you wonder why LSU was so good.
and Skip was the AD
Yes.
too at that
Yeah,
time.
Skip was the AD.
That was quite the list
That
that somebody flew out the other day,
Yes.
on Twitter thing. So that was interesting. Now Fisher to A&M, again, I think it makes the SEC better. Remember years ago we talked about how many coaches had national championships with Saban and Miles and Meyer. Well, now you bring a guy back in that has a national championship, and what does this do to? They're trying to make a rivalry out of this LSU A&M thing. I think it adds a little to it because he did coach at LSU, although he wasn't the head coach.
Yeah, but no, it's a rivalry because to a lot of LSU fans, they thought they were getting Jimbo Fisher, not once but twice, and it didn't work out. Now he's at A&M, so we'll see. Yeah.
We need his agent. Huh?
Jimmy Sexton.
We need to get him to do our next TV deal.
Jimmy
No?
Sexton does it all. Might be the most powerful person in college football
Yeah.
because athletic directors, that's the first call they make to him because he's got a tree full. I'll never forget back in the day, LSU's playing Auburn. Saban's on this sideline. Tommy Tuberville's on this sideline. Jimmy Sexton is the agent for both of them. First half in Tiger Stadium, he's on Tuberville's side. Second half, he comes and stands on Saban's side. And I said, well, I guess you think we're going to win because you picked Saban's side for the second half. He goes, yeah, you're right. You're right.
ULL decides to make a coaching change. Mark Hudspeth, after 7 years, is
Did you hear the
gone.
reason?
No, I'm curious.
The reason was not about wins and losses, lack of fans in the stands, lack of revenue, and lack of a buzz about the football program. It was apathy.
Right.
An athletic director finally tells the truth.
Well,
You start not having, they can't fill that stadium up. They're missing out on, he said concessions are falling.
Parking.
Everything is falling down. We had to make a change.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what direction they go in. I've heard a few names, but we'll let that play out. It's got to happen quickly.
Your boy should be the one.
A lot. I've heard his name a lot. Tim
Tim
Rebo,
Rebo.
who has done a fine job at Nichols and was on Hudspeth's staff at ULL.
Yeah, he was there for a couple of years. That's right.
Yeah, so he's. We'll see what happens with all of that.
I had someone call my radio show in Lafayette, said they need to go get Luke Cook from Notre Dame.
Louis Cook.
Louis Cook.
He's a legend.
He is legendary.
I'll just say this. I'm going to be mean here, but I'm going to say it anyway. I hope that the next football coach at ULL, I hope they get him a shirt that fits. Get him some gear that fits. Because Hudspeth's shirts were all too small for him.
Well, he was more in the weight room than he was on the recruiting pass.
I mean, come on, Coach, go up one size. I mean, yeah, I know you want to show off your guns,
That's
but
all
here's
right.
another point that I want to make, and
Typical, he should have gotten out when he was hot, and he didn't. And now, I don't know what's going to
I
happen
don't know
to him.
if the folks in Lafayette are going to like to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's true. There's no ULL football coach that took a big step upward after leaving there.
That's right.
I don't want to say it's a graveyard, but nobody
like
has.
Malzahn did to, and like Hugh Freeze did.
Yeah, nobody has like jumped up and had major success, and people that coach there end up not coaching or relegated to high school. Nothing wrong with that.
One of their best staffs they had was when Nelson Stokely was the head coach, and they
won some games.
And Lou Cook was the offensive coordinator. Louis was making it happen.
All right, back to the old Citrus Bowl, LSU. And now it's going to be a kick at 1 o'clock Orlando time, 12 noon, LSU and Notre Dame. Now, here's
It's better
the
than 10 a.m.
Here's the announcement. Typically, we have the Pelican Sports post-game show immediately following LSU football. Well, with it being January 1, you got the national semifinals, you got
don't
other
wanna
bowl
work.
games. We're going to move it to Wednesday night the 3rd, and it's going to become like a post-game Tigers Roar combo
Wrap-up.
thing. Buddy Sanjay and I'll be here. We will be
I
live.
get the day off.
We will be live to take your phone calls and your texts, just like we normally do on the post-game show, but it'll be that Wednesday night, and we'll put some other stuff together for you, and, of course, we'll promote that as it gets a little bit closer. Now, we talk about Notre Dame and the glitter that they bring to the matchup. Whether you like Notre Dame or not, that's what it does. We've got Brian Kelly, their head coach.
Oh, by the way, storied programs, very recognizable uniforms. Also, I can't tell you, name another bowl that has two schools in it that movies were made about it. You have Everybody's All-American for LSU, and of course Rudy, and Ronald Reagan win one for the Gipper, and Newt Rockney story and all that stuff. So I don't think there's any other schools that can claim that. Just a
probably
little bit
not.
of idle trivia for you and yours.
Trivia expert here.
Yeah, just idle.
We're going to let you hear from the head coach who's been on and off the hot seat in his tenure at Notre Dame.
If he's a cat, 8 of those lives have been used.
Yeah, he only won 4 games last year. He has flipped it around. Both they and LSU are 9-3 coming into this game. Here's the head coach of the Fighting Irish, Brian Kelly.
Nice guy. I don't like him.
Prestigious games on New Year's Day on national television. We're really super excited. And then to play LSU, you know, another nationally ranked team, that'll give us our 7th nationally ranked team to play on this schedule. You don't need much motivation for your football team. Our guys are pretty motivated. They know, you know, what's in front of them in terms of playing LSU. So, again, really proud of our staff, our players, and, you know, to be put in this position on New Year's Day, really excited for the accomplishment. Finals, and begin with our scouting report the following week. Probably get about, you know, 2 weeks of LSU. So try to duplicate a week of LSU up here before we break and send our players home on the 22nd. We'll send them home on the 22nd. So they'll fly out of here on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then they'll have to report to the bowl site on the 26th. So from our perspective, you know, it's great that we can get some work in here and then get a break for our players during Christmas so they can spend Christmas home with the family and then meet back up at the bowl site. So it really, you know, playing on New Year's Day really is good for our football team.
When you look at kind of these standalone bowl games, meaning like non-playoff games, do you kind of view this as sort of a cap on this season, a sort of building block for next season, or a little bit of both?
I think it's more about this season. Really, I think when you really get down to it, you get a few days where you can get some of the younger players a glimpse towards next year. But I think it's a cap on this season. You know, it's a quest to be special in a sense of getting to 10 wins, and that's really going to be on the backs of the guys that got you to where you are. So if you were to break it up in terms of how the pie would look, you know, I still think this is about, you know, getting your team, you know, ready and prepared, you know, for, you know, a 13th game. Along the way, if you can accomplish a couple of other things and get a glimpse of some other players that haven't gotten a lot of work, you certainly do that, but you don't have a ton of time to do that either.
When you look at this LSU team, how much work have you guys had a chance to kind of get to look at them other than just superficial look at them?
I really haven't had much, but I know LSU. I know the type of athlete that they, you know, have on their football team. You know, Darren Geis is, you know, another version of Leonard Fournette in the sense that power, speed. He's not obviously he's big, but has the power, speed. Their front seven is going to look like a Georgia SEC team. I mean, this is going to be an SEC Georgia type football team. I think their scheme is a little bit different than when we played them in 14 in terms of what they do offensively. I think Matt Canada has opened up their offense a little bit. So I think you'll see that as being a little bit different than maybe what we saw in 14. But I think you're going to see, you know, the kind of athletes that we expect to see that we saw in 14.
Brian, up the middle, what were your memories of the last time you guys played LSU and how important that game was springboarding you into the next year?
Well, what I recall in the 2014 season, we started out undefeated, and then we had a rash of injuries. Finished poorly in a sense that, you know, we lost some close games at home, lost a game to Northwestern in Louisville where we had the game won. So we really had to bring our guys back from a confidence standpoint. I remember, you know, vividly talking to them about that they were a better football team than how we finished, and to bring that confidence to the LSU game. I thought they played with a lot of confidence in that game, and consequently we made some changes, as you know, at the quarterback position, starting Malik Zaire, and focused on playing with confidence and physicality, and by doing so, we were able to, get the game into the fourth quarter, and we had the game-winning field goal. So, confidence, physicality, a lot of the things that we kind of relied on this year were kind of the salient points in that game in 14.
Did that help a lot going into the next season?
Oh, that victory helped with confidence going into 15. There's no question. The team changed a little bit, as you know, because we changed who the quarterback was, but because Malik got injured. But I think that confidence level certainly was definitely momentum going into 15.
So do you think that can also be in play this time around? Obviously, you don't have the injuries, but obviously you didn't win the games you wanted to down the stretch here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that this season's a different season than that one. That one was clearly different in the sense that we lost some games that were difficult ones. The dynamics were different. That team was different. This team has changed so much from last year to this year that it will make it a special season to win 10 games, but it's a really good change from where we were that we'll be able to build off of this season no matter what happens.
Again, Brian Kelly, he's had his share of sitting on the hot seat a little bit, and obviously maybe that's cooled down a little bit. They are 9-3, as is LSU heading into this game.
The other thing these two schools have in common, they both got to a national championship game, and they both got beat down by Alabama.
Yeah,
So
they sure
it's another,
did.
it's another little
So that's
useless
what
bit
it
of
is
trivia.
down in Orlando. Again, 1 o'clock kick if you're going to the game, 12 o'clock if you're here.
What is Overton's?
I don't know. They're presenting the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't know what that is. Overton's. I should look that up.
I guess we'll learn that in the coming weeks, perhaps.
Get our
huh?
crack staff to look that up and let us know.
All right, a couple of other bowl games we want to tell some folks about. The New Orleans Bowl, which is on the opening day of the bowl games, which is Saturday the 16th. We've got the New Orleans Bowl. Of course, ULL won that 4 straight years a few years ago. Tulane played it in it lately, but this year it'll be Troy and North Texas. Of course, Troy beat LSU on September 30th. The R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl in the Dome. Always a question about the attendance. Troy not that far away over there in Alabama, lower part of Alabama.
Dallas
North Texas,
trip.
just north of Dallas. So, if you're looking for the bowl game, that Saturday, it's a 12 noon kick down in the Superdome.
Yeah, I'll pass.
You'll pass.
I'll pass on that one.
Now, Louisiana Tech, of course, we air their games on WUBR, CBS Sports Radio. La Tech qualified for a bowl with a win at the end of the season. They'll go to the Frisco Bowl, a first-year bowl over there in Frisco, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. And they'll play SMU, whose coach, Chad Morris, just signed on with Arkansas. So Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. We'll have that game for you on the radio on WUBR.
I'll go to that one if Eric Dickerson is playing for SMU. If not, I'll pass on that one.
Have you ever seen that 30-30 on that?
Yeah, 30 for 30, yes.
It was 10 times, 100 times worse than I remembered. And, of course, back in the 80s when that broke, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have a million.
It was just flagrantly.
Oh, it was, I mean,
was just,
it's like, hey.
What do you want?
Yeah,
Just
we're
take what you
just
want.
going to do this no matter what, you
It
know.
doesn't matter.
And they deserved the death penalty.
They did.
And while the NCAA has said they would never give anybody else a death penalty because it took them too long to recover, they accomplished sending a message that you can't be like that.
A lot of people thought Louisville in basketball and Ole Miss in football could
Speaking
have
of
gotten
Ole Miss, the sanctions are hard, they're tough, but I was expecting more.
I expected a lot more than that, yes.
2 bowl games, of losing the scholarships.
But look,
that hurts.
Matt Luke is the lucky recipient because they couldn't hire anybody else because they didn't know what the sanctions were. And so they said, well, look, we're just going to remove the interim tag. You beat Mississippi State. We can sell that to our fan base, and he'll be a stopgap until all this stuff goes by the wayside.
I think he did a very good job, all things considered.
Yeah.
You got to fire Hugh Freeze. He gets in there.
He got lucky. He had a new quarterback, a pretty darn good backup quarterback that they didn't know about.
Yeah, he was, he was a former player there. He was an offensive lineman. He was an assistant coach. He's got Ole Miss through and through his blood. And I thought winning 6 games and beating Mississippi
He's like
State,
Ed Orgeron is to LSU.
you know,
one of
we'll
the
see
guys.
what he can do
Right.
going forward with that. Now,
Too many scholarship limitations. They're going to
it hurts.
suffer.
It hurts. Look what it hurt Southern Cal. They kind of went away for a few
And
years.
we'll
Now they've bounced back.
And we'll see how many players vacate
A lot.
and go from there. So it's, yeah. A lot
Speaking of bowl
JUCO kids
games,
coming
the
in.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
National semifinal, Clemson, Alabama. It should be packed. Should be a tough ticket.
Should be.
That'll
Yeah.
be the second game
It'll be
of
the
the
nightcap.
2 semifinal games. 3:45 out on the West Coast will be the Rose Bowl, and then scheduled for 7:45 or so. It'll be
Can't
Clemson,
wait.
Alabama. It should be a packed dome, and it is a playoff semifinal. The national championship game will be the following Monday, January 8th. But that's going to be a tough ticket.
I'm going to have to get Tremonti's to cater for me that day because I'm going to be boom till boom. I'm not going anywhere. I love it. Love it.
Love
yeah.
it.
Here's the difference. Clemson doesn't have Deshaun Watson, but boy, they got a really, really good defense. There's no question about that. Alabama should get some players back healthy, and Nick Saban has a lot more time to prepare for them. Normally, they meet in the national championship game the last 2 times. Now he's got all this time leading up to the semifinals. So I think it's going to be really, really. I think the best game is going to be Oklahoma, Georgia. I really do. I think that's going to be terrific.
It's good. If they can, Baker Mayfield will probably win the Heisman Trophy.
Ain't no doubt.
And if Georgia can contain him, they win the game. That's
Oklahoma I put it in a basketball terminology. Oklahoma is like Golden State. You're going to have to score a lot of points to beat them because they're going to score.
Right.
Mayfield's just too good. So can Fromm and Georgia muster up enough offense to hang in there? I don't think they can.
be interesting to see. Certainly, there's no question. Now,
Oh, you know whose birthday it is today?
Who?
He's 25.
25 today?
Today. Where have you gone, Johnny Football? Because I thought of Baker Mayfield, it reminded me of it.
Okay.
Johnny Football. Johnny Manziel's 25. I guess we need to go to Vegas to find him.
There ain't no telling where
He's been
might
really
be.
quiet.
Well, he's done playing football.
We'll see.
Now, the comment, we could talk for days about the College Football Playoff Committee. And by the way, Friday on the radio, I have a solution. I have a better way to pick the playoff team. So be tuned in Friday. That's all I'm going to tell you. A very serious matter. It's not a joke. I'm going to send it to the NCAA and the selection committee. Okay. With that being said, the interview with Nick Saban late Saturday night, after Ohio State
contradict
had
himself a
won.
little?
No, he said, if we'd got beat by Iowa by 31, you would not be talking to me.
That's true.
He said that to
That is
Van
true.
Pelt
That
or
is
whoever was interviewing
absolutely
him. And
true.
that, to me, I don't know if the committee saw that or not or whatever.
But they had been saying
that to me summed it up that I'm like Sunday morning, friends are going, man, you think Alabama's going to get it? I said, yes, I do. Sunday morning, even though I said I didn't think they deserved to be without being a division champ. But Ohio State they opened that can of worms.
If
the year
you had
before.
listened to Kirby Hocutt each and every one of those times that they came out with the announcement, every time they made the thought process of that loss, the manner in which they lost, to whom they lost to, and how many points they lost by, certainly affected their mindsets. That was on their platter as soon as that 31-point beatdown by Iowa in Ames took place. That was too big of a hole for Ohio State to climb out of.
And the other thing he said was, all the rankings that they put out, 6 weeks worth, whatever it was, every one of those had Alabama ahead of Ohio State,
And-
all the way through.
And Ohio State, Alabama did to Ohio State what Ohio State did to Penn State last year.
Yeah,
Ohio
exactly.
State didn't win the Big Ten last year, and they got in. So
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to let the
why
chairman.
you tease me? I got to wait till Friday to hear the solution.
Yeah, we'll come back. We're going to hear from Kirby Hocutt, the chairman of the selection committee. We're going to let him explain things to you as only he can do because he was in the room. We weren't.
That's right.
Jordy Helberg, Tommy Krysan, do stay with us. You got more of Tigers Roar coming up. Spread the roar.
Go Saints.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tag and Rule. I don't know what we can say about the committee or the selections that hadn't already been said. You can kick it around. It's a little fuel for talk radio and internet and whatever, but
all Wisconsin had to do was win.
If they'd have won, they could have canceled the meeting.
Yeah, it's over.
When I come up with my proposal on Friday, they can cancel the meeting too. Okay, again, I'm just teasing.
Before it's all said and done, you're going to say it. You can't.
No,
keep
I'm not going to say it.
You
No,
can't
I'm
keep
not
a secret.
not going to say it.
I'm going to get it out of you.
We're going to let Kirby Holcutt, who is the chairman of this 14-person committee, what he did, he talked and explained things to people. Here's the chairman of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee.
Chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, Kirby Holcutt, also the athletic director at Texas Tech. Kirby, we've spent a lot of time talking about this decision. What carried the day for Alabama over a conference champion, Ohio State?
Well, the selection committee looked at a one-loss Alabama team, that one loss coming against the final ranking number 7 team, Auburn, in a very competitive game. We compared that to a 2-loss Ohio State team, obviously the one loss at home to number 2 ranked Oklahoma, but more damaging was the 31-point loss to unranked Iowa. We spent a great amount of time last night into the morning again, beginning at 7:30 this morning, talking about the full body of work. Now that the complete season is in front of us, we have the full body of work. The selection committee just favored Alabama's full body of work over that of Ohio State. And it was consistent over the course of the year as we saw Alabama play week in and week out. Our rankings show, when we start with a clean sheet of paper each and every week, that the selection committee believed that Alabama was the better football team. And it was hard, Reese. We spent a lot of time. We challenged ourselves late last night into the morning hours, again beginning at 7:30 this morning. When you looked at Ohio State, the win over Wisconsin, winning the Big Ten championship, when you looked at their resume, the wins they have over CFP top 25 teams, it was impressive, but it wasn't enough for the selection committee to place them over Alabama. The selection committee has continued to be impressed with their performance on the field, and we believe we got it right this week. We're confident we got it right, that Alabama is that number 4 team.
So it's accurate to say that the selection committee felt that Alabama was unequivocally better, because that's the criteria if you're going to trump a conference champion, correct?
Yes, sir. Alabama was clearly the number 4 ranked team in the country as a non-champion.
Okay, now it seems to me, Kirby, that for Alabama, for Ohio State, and even for USC, that the arguments against their inclusion were far more compelling than the arguments for their inclusion. And it seems that you agree with that by saying that at the end of the day, it was really that meltdown in Iowa City that kept Ohio State on the outside looking in. Is it fair to say the arguments against carried more weight in this particular meeting of the selection committee than the arguments for these teams?
Well, I would say our charge is very simple. Our charge as the selection committee is to identify the 4 very best teams in the country for participation into the semifinals. And when there are close separation between teams, then we're instructed to look at certain criteria. In this case, the margins weren't close enough for us to look at those matters. So our charge is very clear. The 4 very best teams, and Alabama is included in those 4 teams this college football season.
Okay, Big Ten's not in the playoff. Big Ten struggled in the last 2 editions of the playoff. You guys try to have a clean sheet. What measures did you take to try to make sure that the Big Ten's past performance in the playoff didn't bleed into the evaluation process this year?
You know, we don't look at conference affiliation. Again, we look at the 4 very best teams. Conference championships are important. If you look at the history of the CFP playoffs, 14 of the 16 teams have been conference champions. But, however, we have the flexibility and the discretion to put non-champions in the top 4 if they are one of the 4 very best. And that's what took place last night.
Jordy, you said on last week's show that, you know, if we had some chaos over the weekend, and there was a small bit of it, could lead to 8 teams in the playoffs. I really think one day they'll get to 8 teams.
I do too.
I just don't know when that may be. And it's a little easier to tell the 9th team, you didn't make it, than to tell the 5th team. You know, and if you had 8 teams,
I just don't understand. There's so many people that are against it, and I don't really understand why. Because basically, what you had was a 8-team playoff dealing with. Maybe that's what their objection is. Make the bowl championship game, the conference championship games, your quarterfinals.
I think if you had 8 teams in the playoffs, you take the 5 Power 5 conference champions. I don't care if they got 3 losses.
You get
You
3
take
wild
them,
cards.
okay?
3
and then
wild
you
cards.
pick 3 of the, the best 3.
I told you would give us the answer.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm coming up with on Friday. I got a serious deal. I mean, it's not a joke or anything. Now, Nick Saban, of course, you worked with him many years on the sidelines, and there's a love-hate for him in Baton Rouge. Some people still love him. Some people don't want to say his name. I don't agree with that. They should have a statue of him put up out there somewhere.
Thank you.
But anyway, he had some comments
Never happened.
after the Tide got into the playoff.
Nick, where were you and how did you find out that your team had been included in the playoff?
Well, I really hate to admit that we had recruits in for official visits this weekend, and I was actually bringing one of those recruits to my office, so I was in the car and kind of missed it. So when I got here everybody was waiting for me, and it was really exciting, and we're very pleased and proud and happy, and sorry I missed you guys, but we found out another way.
That should probably help with the recruit, too, I would imagine, of finding that out. You made your case yesterday on College Game Day and more strongly on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt last night about why you felt like your team should be included. But what did you expect to happen going into the day?
Well, I certainly believed and trusted in the integrity of the committee, that they would do their very best to put the best teams in. A lot of good teams, and I like to congratulate the other teams that got in and some of the other teams that got strong consideration. But I really do believe that based on a total body of work, that our team really deserved the opportunity to be in, and we're very pleased and happy that they did.
Got a little time to get ready for Clemson, so we'll wait and see.
We'll get some players healthy, too.
Yeah, he's going to get some linebackers back, so we'll wait and see what happens on that going forward. So, again, as we said, it's going to be interesting. Now, here's a point that has been made. What? Go ahead.
It's just funny because everybody was getting on him, and rightly so. And Lane Kiffin's the greatest with all his stuff that he does and getting on Saban. But it was just a year before that Saban said, if you're not a conference champion, you shouldn't be considered. Well, the worm is turned, right?
Yeah, well, and now they've opened that can of worms.
So now,
but how about this point? If you're an Auburn fan, and there are some Auburn fans out there, you beat 2 of the 4 teams that are in the playoff, and you lost to another one 14-6.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
And you're not in the playoff.
It's not only who you lose to, but when you lose.
A friend of mine from Alabama, she's a huge Alabama fan, huge college football fan. She said, and actually her husband is an Auburn fan, so they have the house divided thing. And she said, she summed it up. I got to give her credit. She goes, I just tell them Auburn fans, you won the battle, but you didn't win the war.
That's exactly right. That's exactly.
It's an old cliche, but that kind of fit. Would you agree that fits?
That's
Same
perfect.
thing in Ohio State. You won the battle, you didn't win the war.
Perfect.
You like it?
I just want LSU back in the mention. That's all I want.
You know, I was thinking when they did the selection show, I was thinking, you know, I would hope that Ed Orgeron was texting all his returning players saying, you know, we need to be talked about next year on this particular Sunday. Unless they take my plan, then they won't have the show. But, you know, because that's what you got to do.
I know one player who'll be motivated.
Who?
Well, he set a record for winning the Defensive Player of the Week 4 times. No one had ever done that, and he wasn't the Defensive Player of the Year. They gave it to the linebacker from Georgia. So I'm glad. Devin White is going to have a monster season next year. He's going to be first-team All-American. He's going to be unbelievable. If he stays healthy, he's going to be sensational.
Tip of the hat to Danny Etling, the Scholar Athlete of the Year.
Deservedly
they picked one out of 1,500 football players.
Deservedly so. I'm telling you, he was a really efficient, good college quarterback.
Well, you know, we've heard this a million times through our athletic careers, you know, just give us your best, do the best you can do, lay it out there for me. That's what he did. He magnifies that definition. He's not All-American. He's not All-Conference, not going to be. I don't think he plays a day in the NFL.
No.
But he gave his everything every snap.
Every time.
And
every time. Played hurt, never complained, was a good leader on the field, off the field, Scholar Athlete of the Year. I mean, just a quality, quote, student athlete.
He's got.
I'm going to miss you, Danny.
He's got an incredible interception to pass attempt ratio among the leaders in the nation.
Only A.J. McCarron in the SEC had a better one.
Ever better.
Ever.
I mean, there's been a lot of pretty good quarterbacks in the SEC.
Peyton Manning, you know, just Danny Werfel.
You know what I did enjoy seeing? I was tuning in for the Auburn-Georgia game, and down on the field shortly before the game, they introduced, standing side by side, Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker.
Wow.
Obviously, their 2 respective teams were playing. I'm sitting there going, that's a couple of pretty good running backs standing there waving to the folks at the new building over there in Atlanta. But Herschel Walker and Bo Jackson, for my money, Bo Jackson's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. And I know other guys have played MLB and NFL. There's been a few of them, maybe more than some people realize. But Bo Jackson was an all-star in baseball. The football career, if not for the hip injury.
No, he was
this guy, you know, and I'm played both sports at Auburn. And did
that 30
very
for
well.
30 on Auburn at that time when they had Bo, Frank Thomas and Barkley.
Yeah.
Who runs that campus? Wow.
But no, and I always say, if you ever get a chance to watch the 30-30 on Bo Jackson, or go YouTube it, or search for it and look it up, and the story that some of the things he had to go through to get where he got.
Before him, there was that Marcus Dupree story.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, some people forget, Bo Jackson's last year to play baseball at Auburn, he was told by Auburn, by the NCAA, that it was okay to make a trip to New York to visit with the Yankees, who were going to consider drafting him that summer. He gets back, and they ruled him ineligible. He didn't play the second half.
I'm going to tell you, that running back, Cecil Collins,
I wish we could have saw
for
more.
A brief moment of time, wow.
I'll say this. Remember, that was in the days of the Prop 48.
Wow.
You know, when
What
the
a
guys
player.
could come in, but they weren't eligible for academic reasons. It was Proposition 48. I remember being at practice and calling Trey Blossman and people who, I would talk to all the time, say, they got a running back that's a Prop 48 that's better than anybody out here.
Oh,
And that's
I heard that
Cecil
from
Collins.
day one. From day one.
And I like that.
And let me tell you,
he's better than anybody they got, I promise you. But you got to wait till next year.
I was on the sidelines when he ran. He was like, you ever go to the racetrack and you hear a horse running and you hear that sound? He was amazing. Got hurt at Vanderbilt. I'll never forget it. That was
all
it.
right, I'm going to hit you with some tough questions.
Okay.
Is he better than Kevin Falk?
Well,
the snapshot, obviously.
The snapshot, I would say he's the best I've seen. Better than Fournette, better than all of them. But it was just a very brief snippet.
You were, Dalton Hilliard
Yeah,
was right
I saw them
after
all.
you. Yeah.
This guy was unbelievable.
Yeah. So.
But look, that just goes to show you how many great running backs LSU has had. The question is, who are they going to have next year? That's the question. Is it Brissett? Is it Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Is it a guy that they're recruiting that's coming on camp? That's the big question. That's what LSU has to answer. I mean, they got to find some skilled people.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Field goal kicker.
Yeah.
They got to find some guys.
Yeah.
Recruit.
That's what Ed
Don't forget,
does.
coming up in a little while, we'll have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com.
See the segue?
Will get you up to date on all of that. We're going to take a break and come back with more. Speaking of recruiting, we're going to talk about the football games in the Superdome this weekend. Ooh. High school teams. We're going to show you the teams. The 18 teams that punched their ticket to the Dome. We'll get into all of that, and then shortly, as I said, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Kreisand. Spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. On the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Stay with us.
Taste the feeling.
Wood Burners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Roger Kador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For Total Pest Control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar, reminding you about WUBR, CBS Sports Radio in Baton Rouge, 9-10 a.m. But we're on the smartphones, the apps, the TuneIn app. We got our own app, WUBR, the computers, the tablets, mixture of the national programming, including Jim Rome, and the local lineup with the gentleman to my left, Jordy Holtberg, Mr. Buddy Sondry, myself, Dave Scandaliato, Ken Trahan's Prep Report, final week of that. Saturday mornings, you get Carlos Brown, the franchise, talking about the Southern Jags, HBCUs, and a whole lot of stuff. And on the weeknights, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame Radio, hosted by Mike Shepard. So check it out. Great mixture, good stuff, lots of fun on WUBR. Jordy, tell us about your radio programs in the Lafayette and New Orleans markets.
Yes, I'm also, thank you, TK, on from 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, 103.7 The Game, 103.7thegame.com in Acadiana, Sports 1280, sports1280.com in New Orleans. So hope you give us a chance.
Jordy, if you go to any high school football practice in August and you hang around for a couple of days, sooner or later somebody's going to say, man, we got to get to the Dome. We got to go to the Dome. It's the road to the Dome. Yep. That's where all high school teams want to end their season. Now, for many years they had some regular season games in the Dome, but it's a chance, I don't know that they do that as much anymore, or even if they did it at all this year.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, but years ago they had them. But anyway, these high school kids, it's a chance to play where the NFL plays, where many a Super Bowl and great college games.
And so many games,
played.
It's got to be weather conducive. So I mean, rainouts would be awful. So.
Yeah. So what we want to do is give a little shout out, a little credit to these 18 teams. That's because of the principals who have made the trip, and we start off with the. Looking at some of the matchups in the Superdome.
And it starts Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, triple headers. So we're going to look at the select teams first. Thursday afternoon, Lafayette Christian against Ascension Catholic. First time Ascension Catholics ever made it to the Dome. Later that evening on Thursday, Notre Dame versus Catholic of New Iberia. And then Friday afternoon,
we got the fight, maroon and white. We're on the road to victory. Cavaliers.
De La Salle, Jordy's alma mater, against U-High from here in Baton Rouge.
That might be the best matchup in the whole
That's going to be a good one. And then also in the select category, Saturday at 12 noon, Catholic High back in the Dome against the John Curtis Patriots. So that's your 4 matchups on the select side of things. Now, moving on to the 9 select Thursday morning, Kentwood, West St. John. Friday at noon, Welsh and St. Helena. Friday night, Richwood and West Feliciana. First trip ever for West Feliciana to the Superdome. Saturday night, Edna Carr and Lakeshore. Lakeshore's first trip ever to the Superdome.
Undefeated.
But that school's only been there about 8 or 9 or 10 years, but they're there. Then the big one, 5A final, Saturday night, Hunville and Pooka Williams against the Zachary Broncos, who won state just a couple of years ago.
And Zachary went up to West Monroe on the road, was losing at halftime, and ended up coming back to win that son of a gun. So congratulations to them. Pooka Williams, he has caught the attention of LSU to make no question about that. I asked about him. Very small, very slight, but very slippery. And all he does is get yards.
Well, I was in Hunville tonight. They beat Covington in the quarterfinal game. And he's 170 pounds tops.
Yeah.
He's not a tailback at the next level. He's a slot guy, return guy, whatever.
You mentioned Zachary that won a state championship for. Did you see what Lindsey Scott Jr. has done?
Let everybody know.
East Mississippi Community College. They won the JUCO National Championship. And I got a word to the wise, and I know you're doing it. Willie Fritz at Tulane, this kid would be perfect. He turned down a scholarship offer to Harvard. So you know he's academically oriented. He can do all that, and he can play. He's not tall, but he can play.
He wins.
He wins.
He wins.
Yes.
Okay. He won at Zachary. He won at East Mississippi Community College.
And he'll win at Tulane. Willie, go get him.
I know Tulane's pursuing him.
Go get him.
They got to get that done. So congratulations to all those coaching staffs and those players who are going to, a memory for a lifetime, go play in the Superdome and try to win a state championship.
For 99% of them, it'll be the last time they play football with pads on.
Yeah. And, you know, and for the teams that lose, hey, it's still a great run and a memory. It'll sting for a while, but it's still a trip to the Dome and a great memory.
Let's see, 1976, I lost the state championship at Rapides Coliseum.
You don't like Rapides
Sting
Coliseum?
hasn't gone away.
Has it?
Sting hasn't gone away.
L.B. Landry.
L.B.
if I'm
Landry,
correct,
yes.
huh? The Buccaneers of L.B. Landry?
Yes.
Is that who they were?
They were about 6'10", 6'6", 6'4". Yeah.
And you were the tallest guy on your team. No, Lorio was
Gary
tall.
Lorio was the tallest. Lee Blankenstein was, we were 6'6", 6'5", 6'3". They were 6'10", 6'8", 6'6".
Yep, they got you.
But it was a buzzer
Have
beater.
you been back to Rapides Parish Coliseum
I have not
since?
ever set foot in there.
I've been in there for a concert or two.
I mean, I was there for that, and it was terrific, but I have not been back since.
Don't want to go back.
We'll never go back again.
Yeah, man.
And you say the sting will go away. Never.
Never. Never, ever.
Ask
huh?
Dwayne Reboul if the sting has gone away.
No.
Never.
His answer would be no.
Never.
Anyway, you got there.
Got there.
Got there.
Heck of a run.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to connect with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Get a little update on the recruiting, let you know what's up. We're 2 weeks away from the early signing period.
Big 2 weeks. Big 2 weeks, and the coaches have been on the road all over the place. Scarborough will give us the latest.
We'll do that when we return with more of Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a formal affair.
My name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Stand by. Here we go. Tigers Roar continues. Jordy Helper, Tommy Chrysands, our pleasure to now be joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
You busy this time of year?
Just a little bit.
Is that phone hanging off your ear yet, or what's the deal?
Well, you know, the recruiting part of it's bad, but what's also bad is you usually have a bit of a silly season with rumors because of coaching changes, and then, you know, of course, all those coaches have to fill multiple staff spots.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
then you start getting in all the rumors about who's going where and who might come and take who, and we've had the Matt Canada stuff out there for several weeks.
What do you think ends up happening there? What do you think ends up happening there?
Jimbo Fisher's coming for Corey Raymond and all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
What do you think is going to happen with the Matt Canada situation?
You know, I mean, so what happens if he doesn't find a job?
LSU's not going to swallow $3 million. I can promise you that.
Yeah, so they have to coexist.
They're going to have to put those two in a room and figure it out.
Is coexist, or is Orgeron going to be out selling world's finest chocolate to try and raise the money?
Here's my question. You hear all these reports of Ed Orgeron meeting with Steve Ensminger, meeting with Justin Rogers in that part of the world. And then you hear of Tommy Robinson meeting with a quarterback in Alabama. And I'm wondering, where's Canada and all these quarterbacks? Is he out on the West Coast?
Jordy, the logic tells all of us in the media, it's on every radio show, it's on every internet message board, it's in columns, that if Canada wasn't getting a job and he was staying and it was a done deal, they would want all this kind of talk to stop because it kills recruiting.
Yeah.
How can you recruit a quarterback and convince a quarterback to come? I just posted a story on Foster from Alabama that we got him for an interview, and he's coming for a visit in January. But, you know, Florida State, he wants to visit there. He talked about visiting Alabama, and he's got an offer from them now. Well, don't you think they're saying, well, who's your offensive coordinator?
Oh, no question. Yeah, no question.
What do you think of all these stories about how the coordinator and the coach don't get along?
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts
no
big
question.
time.
No
yeah,
question.
And if he is around, is he around for just another year, and then he gets cut loose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. So, where do we stand? What's the latest that you're hearing?
Well, you know, we knew that Griffin would fall off like he did.
That's the kid from Georgia?
Monday, I'm like, boy, it sure is getting close. When is something going to happen there? And 10 minutes later, after about to make a call, it happened. So,
is that one of the trio from Georgia?
Yeah, from Georgia.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's put it this way.
Look, you're seeing we had submitted to Rivals and got some of the guys' senior film in LSU's recruiting class is moved up the charts. Number 12 right now, or 13. Of course, Alabama got Nadab Joseph and Savion Smith.
Ooh, yeah.
So they went from what were they in the 30s somewhere? Now they're right there inside the top 10.
Right. Let me ask you this. Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com. Let's say all of the commitments for LSU honor those commitments and they sign. Let's talk about the remaining spots you have. 6, 7 players, correct?
Right.
Okay. Give us your best chance. Give us your best guess. Who is LSU in really good shape with that they really do want to fill those remaining spots?
Well, obviously everything's with wide receivers that are going to make the class and get inside the top 10 and in a solid top 10 class are going to be the athletes. So it's Terrace Marshall from Bossier City Parkway. The only school that could probably mess that up is Texas A&M, but I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, Kelvin Joseph from Scotlandville, I believe he'll re-up to LSU. Then you got Patrick Surtain from American Heritage in Florida. Surtain, of course, a 5-star. Then you got Anthony Cook from Houston Lamar. And that looks like an LSU win over Texas. But then when you start saying, okay, a quarterback, I think, Rogers sticks with TCU. Then James Foster from Montgomery, Alabama, looks to be the kid. But, what's going to shake out in the next, he's going to visit LSU on the 12th of January. So, depending on what his month of January looks like with other visits, there's no guarantees there. He tells us that everybody's even. So then when you start filling in all the spots, you're like, okay, well, where does Glenn Beal fit in? Mike Williams from Dunham. You got the Dominic Livingston, the defensive tackle from Houston, Aldine Davis. He's about 6'3", 340. He'll be in for an official visit this weekend. But I mean, naming all those names, and then you guys still got Lawrence Keys as a possibility.
First come, first serve, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're well over. You're getting over 25. You're already over 25.
Yeah.
Plus Traore.
Yeah.
Do
you feel good?
Orgeron's there for tomorrow.
Do you feel good about the 18 commitments right now, or do you think there are going to be some changes there?
Well, I think the defensive back Washington from Evangel, maybe TCU might make some noise there.
Okay.
But I think, other than that, I think everybody else probably sticks.
All right. How does LSU get into the top 5 in the nation in recruiting? Who do they have to get, in your estimation, to leapfrog from 13 or 12 to get into that top 5?
I don't know if they can get in the top 5.
Okay.
But maybe they can get to. Maybe they can, but it would have to be. You would have to get Marshall.
Yep.
Traore.
Okay. Surtain.
Anthony Cook, Surtain. And then maybe pull a wild card like a Jamar Chase. On top of that, or a Devonta Jason.
Okay.
Chase is the wide receiver from Romo. Didn't he blow up a knee late in the year?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously that.
Let me ask you about this Puka Williams guy. He is turning heads with Hahnville. Got him in the state championship game against Zachary. All he does is run for 300 yards or very close to it every game. Has he made enough of an impact that LSU wants him badly?
They offered him. As soon as they offered him, we interviewed him that night. It was a Friday morning. He got offered. We talked to him that night after his game, filmed him, went off for one of his what was probably like 10 or 11 300-yard games, and he just didn't seem enthusiastic. And the fact that he wasn't a name that we talked about every week as being on the sideline for an unofficial visit tells you a lot as well.
Okay. We saw what's happened with Ole Miss and how now the rule has changed and they can go transfer to SEC schools. Is there any interest in LSU on any of those players?
I have not heard of any movement there or any action, but that's not to say that there hasn't been any inquiries or discussion about it.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Certainly, a lot of schools would like to get in on Shea Patterson and the lineman Greg Little.
Yes. Okay.
Of course, the early signing period 2 weeks away. You'll still have that first Wednesday in February. And then kind of looking ahead, Mike, everything I'm hearing, and I've heard you comment, 2019 is going to be a dynamite year for Louisiana.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, I said it before Jimbo got the job at Texas A&M. you know, this season what it is, but you also knew projecting the roster, who would leave early, the seniors that you were leaving, the question marks at quarterback, running back, et cetera. Then looking at the class of 19 and knowing how well this state is stacked. To me, you're going to know the trajectory of the Ed Orgeron era at LSU based on how many of these Louisiana kids he's able to keep in the fold.
Yep.
And you know Saban's going to be here trying to pick off 2 or 3.
Yep.
And that's the whole thing about Jimbo and College Station. It's not to say that he's going to win SEC titles or be Alabama's biggest competitor in the West over LSU and Auburn or any of that. What it is his ability to close and how much I know, or I say I know, you just know he's going to come in Louisiana and recruit the state harder than any A&M coach we've seen in the last 25 years.
No question.
And
You're right.
So what that does is if you got Saban doing what he typically does with the high-end kids, and the difference makers, and knowing that Jimbo's going to come after a few, and you're already trying to fight off TCU and Kansas on some, that erodes your ability to break out of that 9-3 straitjacket.
Very well said. I agree.
Going to be very, very interesting. Like I said, with the early signing period only a couple of weeks away. Hey, Mike, tell everybody what's happening at TigerBait.com and why they should subscribe. Make it a holiday gift.
Yeah, check us out at TigerBait.com. We got all for you: football recruiting, basketball recruiting. Talked to you out a lot, the big center from Chipola College a few nights ago. He's coming for his official visit, and then Baylor next week. So that's a big guy that Will Wade's after. Got our all-day chat every Wednesday. That's already 3-4 pages, and that's a big ticket item on Tiger Bait. So if you're an LSU fan, give us a look. We really think you'll enjoy the website.
Merry Christmas.
Mike, elaborate on that all-day chat thing. Give a little more details
what is that?
to people.
We crank up a big thread early in the day, and I'll sit there and answer questions. Brian Lazar as well. All day through the evening. We probably don't shut it off till about 10 o'clock at night.
There
so
you go.
We answer every question, and it doesn't stop.
What is the, if you took a survey from your message boards with the Matt Canada situation, I'm just curious as to what the people out there are saying and thinking about him with all the rumors that are going on. Is it positive, negative? Would people care if he's gone, or what are they saying?
Man, it's kind of like you've got a group of people that are like, want Orgeron to get out of his way. Then you've got other people who, wondering, well, you like what he did with the offense, considering the limitations of Danny Etling and not having, a full complement of upper-level wide receivers. But then there's the question of the recruiting at quarterback. Why hasn't he been a draw to draw a top-flight 2018 class quarterback? And okay, if you want to say, well, he just got the job and so forth, and Louisiana doesn't have one. Well, what are the names for 2019? Those guys aren't there either. Those guys start dropping like flies in about 2 months. Several regional and national quarterbacks for the class of 2019 should be household names for LSU fans right now, and they're not.
Interesting.
All right, we shall see.
Well, folks,
think about it. When the quarterbacks usually all go off the board.
They got to go to TigerBait.com to get all the scoop. That's where they got to go.
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Mike. We'll visit again soon.
Talk soon. Thanks.
Hi, buddy.
All right, there's Mike Scarborough at TigerBait.com. Lots of info.
I just want 51% to like me, and then I'm a winner.
51%.
That's all I want.
Did you ever consider running for political office?
No. Oh, no, indeed.
No, I didn't know if maybe you had a wild
I was asked
back
once.
in the day.
I was asked back in the day once or twice.
No. You just got to be friends with those who are politicians. You don't want to be
It's
in
not what
front
you know,
of that.
baby. It's who you know. That's right.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about the hardwood and Geordie Sport. A little basketball, let you hear from Will Wade, a couple of his players, and talk a little Tiger basketball. They're on a little bit of an exam break. They are student athletes, so they're doing the student part of that. So we'll come back with some stuff on Tiger basketball right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Surfing through the channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing. No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com.
We continue with Tigers Roar. The LSU basketball Tigers are 4-2. A little break as they do each and every year to concentrate on exams and wrap up the semester with school and whatnot. Your read on Will Wade, 4-2 after 6 ball games.
Two losses to two pretty darn good teams. You see Notre Dame ranked in the top 10, and Marquette's a good ball club. So, look, he's got to get his players in here. They'll win a bunch of games in this month of December before the SEC starts in January, and they're just trying to get better and better and better. And he's got goals, very tangible goals that he sets out for each game. Get 40 deflections, get no more than 12 turnovers, win the rebounding battle, all these kind of things. And if there's 5 of them, and if they don't accomplish 3 of the 5, the next day they're running up and down the court. So that kind of shows you he's got goals and parameters, and he's going to be fine. You just have to be patient. They're going to have good days. They're going to have bad days. That's just the way it is.
So he's putting some structure in, which was desperately needed.
And if you look at the college basketball landscape, Florida's really good. Texas A&M might be the best team in the league right now, although they got beat last night. Kentucky's always going to be Kentucky. Tennessee's having a renaissance year. They're getting better. Arkansas is better. There's a whole Alabama, Mississippi State. There's a whole bunch of teams that are fighting in that top 30. LSU's on the outside, but just give them some time. Be patient. It's a tough league this year.
Yeah, and they open SEC play with
Kentucky.
Kentucky, A&M, and Arkansas.
Better to get Kentucky now than to get Kentucky late February and March.
You need to speak to them before that game. Tell them how you took the Wildcats down back in the day.
I spoke to them once at Rupp Arena. Never forget it. Coach Brown invited me and took my sons on the trip. Okay. And I spoke to the team before the game. Didn't go very well.
Didn't work?
Didn't work very well.
We're going to let you hear from Will Wade talking about his Tiger basketball team. Here he is, the first-year coach.
Solid win. I thought we guarded well in the first half. Second half, we got away from us a little bit there, gave up too many threes. We should have rebounded a little bit better. We shared the ball well on offense, which was a positive. So overall, it was growth from our trip to Bowie, and we've got some time off and need to continue to improve, continue to get better.
The shot in the arm that Darrell gave you, especially with Samson out.
Yeah, it was big. To find another shooter, another scorer. That's what Darrell can do. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, and Darrell got us going. So thought he played well. Did some good things defensively as well.
You do have a lot of time off between the next game. What do you want to see improve the most between now and then?
What do you think, Andrew?
Gonna go with defense.
Yeah, we got our ball screen defense was better today. It wasn't like a sieve. Like we were able to at least stop some folks today. So that was a plus. That was progress. But yeah, we've got to continue to get better defensively. Our rebounding, I'm a little bit concerned about our rebounding. Doing a decent job blocking out. We got to go snatch the ball with two hands. We just fumbled a couple balls tonight. We gave up some extra possessions, which will kill us. Free throw shooting, got to get better there. Missed 2 front ends of 1-on-1s. I think we're 12 for 20 from the line. That's got to certainly improve. We got to take better threes. On what I would consider catch and shoot threes, we were 9 of 17. On the others, we were 1 of 13. So we just got to be able to take better threes. I don't mind taking 33s. We just got to take the right ones and take better ones. So thought Epps did a good job on the offensive glass. He had 6 offensive rebounds. I thought that was a big positive. Tremont shared the ball. Once he realized, kind of knew it wasn't going to be his night shooting the ball, and so we got those other guys involved. And then Darrell and Skylar did a nice job as well.
The lineup changes that you made, any particular reasoning behind that?
Yeah, Epps can hedge a ball screen. So Epps is our best at hedging ball screens, and so we're going to put our best guy out there at hedging the ball screens. And we got Sims. We got one more switch partner out there. We can switch with him, and there's 3 or 4 other guys out there we can switch with. And we thought we wanted to give Marshall a try. I wish he'd have been a little bit more aggressive hunting his shot. He's a good shooter. I think he turned down some shots in the first half. But we wanted to give Marshall a shot. He's done what he needs to do. He's prepared well, and he's more solid than some of our other guys. We got a lot of guys that, what I call fake hustle. They run around out there really, really hard, run all over the court, and look like they're getting something done, but they're just out of position. They're all over the place. Marshall doesn't do that. He's very, very solid. He does exactly what you tell him to do. He goes exactly where you tell him to go. So we felt like, it was a chance to get him an opportunity to play. And I thought he did a good job with it. We're going to continue playing him some.
How important was this win after back-to-back losses in Maui?
We need to win. We got 11 days. I don't think they wanted to deal with me for 11 days if we hadn't won this one. So, we need to win. You need to take care of your home court. So, we need to win. You need to win at home. And this was a good win at home.
The second half defense, going back to the Sanford game, just seemingly they don't want to say that.
Now this wasn't as bad as
Taz.
Come on, Taz.
Wasn't as bad as that one.
It wasn't as bad as Sanford. A lot of it's communication. The first half when the defense is in front of our bench, we can call out every play. We can call out the coverage. Like we're calling out everything that's going on. We can talk our team through the possession. When in the second half, it's a little bit hard. The plays are away from us, and you got to rely on your team to talk their way through it. And we're not quite there yet. We've got to get there.
How valuable is it for Tremont to share the ball and find guys and have that many assists when he isn't scoring 20
he's an electric player. He's just a good player. He can score it. He can pass it. He gets a bunch of steals. knows what he's doing. Just glad he plays for us.
Do you ever try to tame him down when he wants to do something flashy or no?
Not yet. I mean, he completes them. He hadn't turned one over yet. So, I mean, look, when you got a point guard like him, he's a little bit high risk, high reward. That's the way it goes. I said that before. There's going to be games where he turns it over, games where he's not as good. I mean, that's just part of it. But, I mean, you've all seen how we look when he's not out there. So there is really no alternative. And he's a very good player. We've hitched our wagon to him. We believe in him. Our team believes in him. Look, there's going to be some rough games. There's going to be some games where we get beaten. He doesn't look very good. That's just part of it. That's part of it. We're going to be better for it as a program long term. And I don't think there's any question that he gives us the best opportunity to win right now as well. He's going to have, for every bad game, he's going to have 8 good games. So that's just, that's what we're going to do.
Coach, Skylar was 4 for 10 from 3 tonight. I think he had 16 in the first half,
Yeah.
and 2 in the second half. But can you speak to his role in this offense, outside, inside? Can you talk about?
Really proud of Sky. He's been a little tense the last couple games. He's such a good kid. Somebody asked me about him at the press conference today. He wants to win. He wants to do everything perfect. He wants to make straight A's. He wants to be perfect on the court. I mean, everything he does, he wants to do to perfection. He's a perfectionist. That's what makes him great. And so I told him the other day, just relax a little bit. Trust your instincts. Trust who you are. Trust your work. I told him, I said, we got you. We're still playing you. You're still in the starting lineup. Everything's fine. Just trust. I trust all the work you've put in. I trust everything you've worked hard and done all summer. Just relax and play. And he did that. And he deserved that. He deserved that. And he took great shots. I thought Darryl kicked a couple of them out to him. Tremont kicked a couple of them out to him. He just took 10 toes to the rim, wide open horse shots, basically. And when you do that, you're going to make a lot of them, especially when you're as good a shooter as he is. Did a good job in transition, too. He's got all those finishes. Coach Heyer does a good job of doing the finishing school with him. He's got a vast array of finishes down there. So a little disappointed in his free throw shooting, but he'll get that right. He was 16 to 16 coming in tonight. I think he was 2 of 5 tonight, but he'll get that right.
You said you're okay seeing 33s. Was that what you expected from tonight, or was that just kind of taking what they gave you?
A little bit of both. I mean, that matchup zone they run's pretty good. That's the best of the matchups we've seen. It's better than Alcorn's or Samford's. I mean, it's a pretty good zone. That's how we played one similar to that at VCU. It's pretty good. And so, they did a good job being active. They were going to collapse down on Wap. If Wap didn't get deep post position, they were going to come trap him every time. So when that happens, they're going to give some stuff up, and a lot of it's the corner threes. And that's where we took most of them from, were those corner threes. I mean, Epps had 3 wide open corner threes. He's going to hit most of those. I thought Marshall passed up 2 or 3 threes to drive it in there and do some other stuff, and he just needs to just let the thing fly. So, we'll get better at that, but I didn't think it was necessarily a terrible number for us to shoot.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Again, Will Wade. Got 5 games coming up during the holidays.
All winnable.
No significant opponent, but winnable games at the PMAC.
Confidence.
Maybe get some people out there, get some wins.
Yeah.
As you said, confidence is the most dangerous thing in sports. And get some people out there. They're coming up on the 10th against North Carolina, Wilmington. Houston's
always a challenge. That's always a challenge.
So, they got some stuff coming in there. And get on out to the PMAC, go to the LSU website to get the schedule and the tip-off times and all that good stuff. Now, also, Will Wade spoke to the media, as you saw. We've got some comments from some of the LSU players, the hoop players, following that game.
How do you feel you guys played tonight overall?
We did okay. First half, we came in with the right intensity and the right mindset defensively. But I felt like second half, we slipped up a little bit. Our rotations weren't very sharp, and we let them score. I think it was 34 points in the second half.
36, I think.
36, yeah.
I know they shot 50%.
Yeah, so that's very good.
What's it been about second halves against you guys when you had big leads? Samford was kind of the same way, where second half defensive lapses and things like that. Is it intensity in the second half?
I say it's probably just lack of focus coming into the second half, because once you get that lead, it's just you got to really maintain that focus. Coach be trying to let us know that it's 0-0, 0-0 in the second half, so we got to come out with the same intensity we came out in the first half.
What was it like for you coming off the bench tonight? Was it different? Was it weird?
Nah, I got no problem with that. I don't mind. End of the day, you gonna play basketball.
When did he tell you, like before the game, or did you know yesterday in practice? Or
Yeah, he told me like 2 days ago in practice that he's gonna get me off the bench. Like ain't nothing, like because he knows that I can handle that. It's not really a big deal to me.
Was it like a matchup thing against UT Martin? Because I know they had that zone, or is it something he's just kind of tinkering with?
Something he just wants to see something different. He want to see extra 5.
10 days until you guys are back out here, 12 or something like that. What do you want to see? Maybe what's the biggest thing you guys need to improve on during this break?
Like get our rebounding better and get our on-ball defense even better.
While coming in early, you're down 9-4. You guys are doing a lot of different things. You come in and hit the 2 big threes. How big was that to kind of just get that offense going early?
Get the momentum going, you know what I mean? Bring a different type of energy, bring a different type of, swag to the court, you know what I mean? So
when you kind of know that second one was going in, and you kind of
I was already kind of like moving back. I was like, oh, you got to drop. So good job.
What's it been about second half defense with these teams? You guys seem to
relax,
get comfortable.
Relax, get comfortable, which we can't do. That's something we got to shore up for sure. You know what I mean? Play a whole complete game. So when we get to SEC, that's something we can already have in our belt. You know what I mean? Playing a whole complete game.
I know Coach was preaching a complete game. Y'all don't maybe get it tonight. What do you guys need to improve on over the break to maybe make sure you can kind of come out with that against UNCW?
I don't want to say conditioning because I don't want to run no more. We already run a lot, but I'll say, just being in the right place at the right time, you know what I mean? Trusting our teammates and helping our teammates and really just coming out with the mindset of stopping these guys, getting some more turkeys the same way we come out in the first half.
As we mentioned, some home games coming up. Get a chance to get the family out there, get some kids out there, and watch some Tiger hoops.
Got some talented players. They don't have a lot of size, and that's going to hurt them down the road. But they hustle, they play hard, they score a lot of points. They can score the basketball. They just got to be able to stop other people and control the glass, and that's going to be presented a case every now and then.
Did you hear his line? Somebody asked him about going to get a big man. And he said, I'm like Noah, I want 2 of everything.
That's right.
He wants 2 big men,
exactly
2 point guards, 2 whatever. So
I like Will Wade.
He's pushing the right buttons, I think. I've not met him yet. Maybe one day, probably not now, but maybe after the season I'll cross paths with him one day. But I've been impressed with what he's done, and I would know you, being a former player, a lot closer to it than you. And what are some of your other former teammates and other former players
they
saying?
like it. They like his energy. And what I like about it the most is he has a plan. He knows where he wants to get to, and he knows what he has to do to get there. Well, everybody can come up with a plan, but how are you going to get there? What are you going to do to get there? Do you have the energy? Do you have the persistence and the drive to do what it takes? And he's done that. He's a tireless recruiter. And you can tell he's already gotten 3 pretty darn good players. He's going to get 1 or 2 more in the April signing period for this class. He'll be fine.
As we know, it's all about recruiting. It's the players, correct?
No question.
You know, it's the perfect magnification of that definition. Oklahoma football. Their coach left in July.
Yeah.
Bob Stoops said, I'm out of here. Here they are, ranked number 2, won the Big 12. So if you have the players.
Well, let's just put it this way. LSU basketball was. Okay, they had great Pistol Pete, Bob Pettit. And I'm not tooting my horn. I'm not. But in one year, Rudy Macklin, Greg Cook, and myself. The next year, Dwayne Scales, Willie Sims, Ethan Martin. The next year, Howard Carter. That's how you do it. Now, nobody was a one and done back then.
Right.
And so you're fighting that. But you build solid classes year after year, and then you get some veteran player. That's how you do it, and that's. I don't think Will Wade's scared of having one and dones. I don't think he's scared of that at all, and he'll welcome them. You get that Bagley kid from Duke, #1 pick in the so he's not scared of that. But that's how you do it, and he's got that plan in place. So I'm excited about the future. I really am.
Very good. We're going to take a break, come back, kick it back into some more football stuff for you. We got a nice video showing a bunch of touchdowns by Williams and Shark.
You got
and
a winner?
Geis.
You got a winner? Saints Falcons? Come on. Come on.
I'll pick the Saints to win. They put themselves in a good position.
Head right, baby.
You going to Atlanta?
No, I'm not going. I would love to be there, but no. I'd like to see that new stadium.
I talked to somebody that went said it's very nice.
They've got, in the perfect world, the new stadiums they're going to be building now, not to get off tangent here, but bigger seats, and I think the days of the 100,000 seat stadiums are history. They're going to go more to the NFL style, wider seats for more comfort, less so we can fill the thing up.
Yeah, I think that would be a very good move. We know the actual attendance problems that everyone's having, not just LSU. Everyone. We'll take a break, come back, and let you see a whole bunch of Tiger football touchdowns right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
My couch and my big screen.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy planker siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Here, want to make a mention. You saw the commercial for the Bon Temps Buffet at the LeBaris Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge. And when we get to conference action, when you listen to Pelican Sports Radio Monday through Fridays from 3 to 5, you have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the basketball game and 2 coupons to the Bon Temps Buffet at the LeBaris Casino and Hotel Baton Rouge. So that'll be coming when we get to conference play for the home game. So people can get a little chance to get on out there.
There you go. Can I get eligible for the Kentucky game? That's all right. No, I'll get some tickets.
Do what?
I'll get some tickets. Don't worry.
Call Coach Brown. He still got his tickets. He's been sitting there forever.
Oh, yeah, front row. Yeah, mid-court, couple rows up. Absolutely. Bob Pettit still got his seats. Oh, yeah. I mean, you got those diehards that have been there forever and a day, and thank God bless them.
Once again, LSU's in the Citrus Bowl. That game will be on January 1. It's a 12 noon Louisiana time kick if you're watching on TV, 1 o'clock if you're down there in Orlando at the game. And Jordy, the matchup with Notre Dame. Overton's is a marine and boat supply type company.
Okay.
Adam looked that up for us and let me know during one of the breaks. But
thank you, Adam.
It's LSU, it's Notre Dame. Notre Dame ranked a little bit ahead of LSU in the polls. Chance for the Tigers to get their 10th win, something they haven't done in a very long time.
Are they going to get a little swag bag with a little miniature boat?
I read the list of
little
all
miniature remote control boat? Is that what they're going to get?
I read the list.
They didn't have
all
the Citrus Bowl.
The bowl games, what they get.
Yeah.
Some of them get a watch.
The big thing is
a gift card.
Is the store, and they set up a room in your hotel, and it's a store, and you get like I think it's $550 worth. I may be off a couple of dollars like that. But trust me, those gifts, it's like Black Friday times 4. So what's normally $300 may be worth $25. So that's how that works.
All right, so let me ask you this. How do you think the Tiger fans will travel to Orlando? Let's point out, well, 2 things. They went there last year.
Yep.
But last year, everybody in the greater Baton Rouge area's world was wrecked by the flood. So probably a lot of people weren't back in their homes, whatever.
They get 9,500 tickets. I think they'll
be close to selling them all.
I think they'll travel well. Yeah, I think they'll do okay.
You know, so some people couldn't go last year. Now they can maybe go, and some people are going to go. Some people are going to go to an LSU game no matter where it is and who they play.
We had more fun. We were in Orlando for a bowl game. I can't remember which one. I guess it was Saban's last game. Played Iowa. And we stayed right across. The team hotel was right across from SeaWorld. And so we did that, and kids had a ball. So, yeah, they'll do well.
Well, there's a lot to do in Orlando, obviously.
And you can definitely drive to Orlando. It's not
11, 12 hours?
Yeah, you can.
All interstate, basically.
Yeah, you can basically do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see
if that's
how
what you
that
want.
goes. And then, you know,
is there a direct flight from New Orleans to Orlando?
I would think so. I would think absolutely. Okay. I don't know that, but I'll make a good guess that I think there is. And then, of course, we'll see what transpires as far as if there's any players who are going to choose not to play to quote-unquote get ready for the NFL. We've seen a little bit of that. A guy at Florida State, a couple guys from Texas. So, namely Arden Key, Darius Geis. Will they play, in this game, or are they going to pull that card that McCaffrey and Fournette and them did last year, like, hey, don't want to go? Obviously, if it was a playoff game, they would play.
I think Geis will play. I'm not sure about Key. We'll see.
Yeah, so, that remains to be seen as well. And, I think that a plus, as we know, and it's been talked about, those 13 or 14 practices are wonderful for the underclassmen.
No question about it.
You know, Jerry DiNardo was the first one that pointed that out to me years ago. He said, you get them 14 practices, and if you take that times 4 when a guy's a senior, that's 50-something practices that guy had that the team that doesn't go to a bowl game every year did not have, and he said that makes a difference.
And I'm not sure, but they're out of school. So does a 20-hour week still hold play, or can they go longer? I bet you they can go longer.
Don't know the answer to that.
Sure.
I don't want to guess and give out the wrong information. I guess we could check on that and let people know next week.
Because
I haven't seen a bowl
because coaches can get around this. They could go, okay, the starters, we're going to go 4 hours today. Starters, you go 2 hours and get out of Dodge, and all the new kids, all the up and cut, we're going to go 2 hours hard with you. It's a 4-hour practice, counts for one. I'm just saying.
Well, if there's a way to get around things, coaches, not just LSU, but all coaches will do it.
That's why I'm wondering about the 20-hour week, if that holds play. I'm just guessing, but I'm thinking it does
I have a question on
not.
that. Who monitors that? Is it a honor system?
It is compliance is supposed to honor
So
all
compliance is supposed to be, I'm sure they're filing a report or they're filing some papers or they're emailing
that.
somebody.
Orgeron punches a time clock, boom, and when it's over, he punch. No, I don't.
Well, no, I mean,
don't know.
because they don't, NCAA doesn't have the manpower to monitor everybody.
Right.
So it's got to almost
So
be an
it's-
honor system. I guess if they have reason to believe that you think you're not, then they're going to check. send
Players are
somebody.
pretty smart. Players will, hey, coach, what's up with this? We're on our feet an awful lot of time here. Now they're doing so much more with their iPads, studying tape and all that, lifting weights. But I think it's just on the field itself, actual football that counts.
All right.
But they're spending way more than 20. I can promise you.
I would think so. We're going to take a break, come back, put a wrap on things, kick a few more things around. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, spread the roar. This is Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at pelicansportstv.com.
Hi, I'm Jordy Hultberg for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
continue with Tigers Roar, the parade of all conference teams and all kind of awards and all-American teams out next week. But earlier this week, we got some all-SEC teams by the Associated Press, as well as voted on by the coaches. You know the drill. Coaches can't vote on their own players. Will Clapp and Devin White, first team from LSU. No surprise on either. Second team, Darius Geis, DJ Shark, Garrett Brumfield.
That was a surprise.
Dante Jackson and Greedy Williams, who should be an All-American, freshman All-American, but that was the coaches. And then, of course, the Associated Press, and these things are never carbon copies of each other. But on the AP All-SEC team, Will Clapp, Arden Key, I was surprised to see that name there, but it's there.
By name
Devin
only.
White, no-brainer. Greedy Williams, second
for
team.
him.
Darius Geisen and DJ Shark with the return game checking in as an all-purpose player on the AP team.
Is that the first freshman to make first-team AP for LSU? Greedy Williams?
First freshman defensive player. Hodson did it. Hilliard did it.
Okay.
And
First
I think there was
defensive player.
another one.
That's pretty cool.
First defensive player to get that honor. So
Good for you,
that was
Grady.
pretty good. And then, as you said, Devin White coming back next year.
Ooh, man on a mission.
Not all first team. Oh, man.
Ah, man on a mission.
So that's going to be good news. The Tiger defense can start with him and build around.
No question.
And
Dave Aranda's the perfect coach to do it.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of good linebackers over the years at LSU. Many of them are playing in the NFL as we speak.
This dude
might be better
top
than
them
all of them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean, he led the conference in tackles. Like you said, a SEC record 4 times Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. That's never happened before.
Combination of speed and power and then instinct. He's always around the ball. Now, he's going to have to become a better tackler. A couple times he'd do the arm thing and they'd break through it, but, Devin White's going to be the man.
Now, what about your New Orleans Saints? They put themselves in a good position.
Who dat? How about sums up Tennessee perfectly. And Alvin Kamara was used so little by Butch Jones. He's a backup, and now he's going to be the NFL Rookie of the Year on offense, and he averaging 7 yards every time he touches the ball. Way to go, Butch. Sums it up.
Couldn't start at Tennessee, though.
Sums it up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Talent evaluation.
They put themselves in a good position, and after them first 2 weeks when they had the 2 losses, nobody saw this coming, kind of like after Troy. Nobody saw LSU being where they're at now, so that's good things. And then, of course, the Pelicans continue to play the Jekyll and Hyde
They are consistently inconsistent. That's the best way to describe them.
Up, down, and I mean, Anthony Davis gets thrown out. Can't do that. I mean, you got to have him.
And then
on
he
the
gets
floor.
hurt, and Boogie Cousins gets thrown out, but that's typical.
Yeah, so I mean, you had all that stuff going on with the Pelicans.
That was a wild game against Golden State. Wild game.
Once again, we want to wish all the teams in the Superdome the very best of luck. Congratulations on making it to the Dome. Half of y'all are going to win, half of you are not, but it's a memory for a lifetime, no question about that. So we all them coaches and coaching staffs, I mean, the coaches too, the players all want to get to the Dome. Trust me, I know a lot of coaches. They all want to get to that Dome, and they don't
Nothing
all
like
get
it.
to go. So
we
wish them the very best. Hopefully there's big crowds in the Superdome, weatherproof, because we got some snow coming.
Friday snow, baby.
You're going to build a snowman?
It'll hit the ground and disseminate immediately.
So we got that. Keep track of all that good stuff. Don't forget about the radio station. Don't forget, Wednesday, January 3, we'll do the Pelican Sports post-game show, kind of a combo with Tigers Roar, taking phone calls and text messages. Not going to do it after the game on January 1 when you got all the other games, including the national semifinals on. So, on behalf
where they could use snow out in California, man, that's awful.
On behalf of Jordy Hulberg and the entire crew here at the Pelican, I want to thank you for watching. Check us out, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast, and I'm Tommy Chrysan. Talk to you again soon.
So long, everybody.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.